Sorry, my first round opponent was, I think he was double queuing or something. So I he basically didn't do anything for like the first 6 minutes, and then there were frequent pauses throughout. So I didn't record it, but I'll just kind of walk through the replay. Um, so basically, I keep this hand. It's a one-lander with a cantrip, which is usually kind of the hands that you would keep in these type of decks. Unfortunately, I miss here. I leave the Ponder before Brainstorm because Ponder digs 4, and it's definitely really important to get a land drop, so I'd definitely play a cantrip over a Delver here. Unfortunately, our opponent has Spell Setter for my Brainstorm, and he then basically follows it up with a Ninja. And, you know, we just kind of die. Not much to say about this game. I decided, you know, I dot scoured, didn't hit a land, and I just decided to concede here. You know, it's really not kind of pointless to play that out. Alright, so on to the second replay. You can see my constructed rating took a huge beating while I've been trying to brew with Greater Sandwurm. Mainly, I kept on losing with like mono black control and red black control. I kept on matching up against Affinity and Boggles, and I don't know, I just kept on getting beaten by that. Yeah, also, I wasn't winning a whole lot with Augurs either because I was just getting, you know, my late game, you know, the Greater Sandwurm is not really a late game, good enough late game, and I just also kept getting rushed down a lot, so I've been doing a lot of losing while brewing, but okay, going into game 2. So, this is a good hand. There's some Brainstorm Mento Note synergies, but I don't go for that, I believe. So I definitely cantrip right here, because you definitely, you know, have an open window to basically play cantrips without having to worry about Spell Setter. So I'm gonna put Deep Analysis back, and I believe Greater Sandwurm. And I'm also just gonna Mental Note right now. I don't really want to play Deep Analysis with 4 mana, because that's a little bit too slow against mono blue. And also just getting the Greater Sandwurm into the yard is good for Exhume if we draw it. Our opponent has a Ninja here. So definitely need to kill the Ninja. Plus we also have the Bajuka Bog, which means that we won't have to give back the opponent the Ninja, you know, once we kill it. So you know, I could Exhume right here and not worry about the Ninja, but things like if he has Vapor Snag, that just sets me way too far behind. So I kill a Ninja, and I think I wanted to get this Dismal Backwater in play, which is why I didn't flash back Deep Analysis, but that might have been a mistake. Also, well, maybe, you know, playing Dotscar now because I want to get around Spell Setters. Opponent replaces Delver, plays 2 Delvers. So again, I kind of just want to play these cantrips without having to worry about well, like Greater Sandwurm first. But you know, I definitely just want to play the cantrips without having to worry about Spell Setters. Luckily, our opponent doesn't flip, but he does play Curse of Chains. So I think this deck probably doesn't have a great matchup against mono blue, because you know, so the Greater Sandwurms, they do a pretty good job getting around, well, they certainly do a really good job getting around red removal, and they actually do a pretty good job getting around black removal, because most people aren't playing Doomblades or like Victim of Nights. Instead, most people are playing, you know, like Echoing Decay, disfigures, and they're supplementing that with Chainer's Edicts. But you know, if I have like a Delver or something, the Chainers will just get that. So Greater Sandwurm is actually pretty good against black decks. It is not good against, you know, blue. So this is likely a bad matchup for this deck. But here I resolve another Scavenger. Now just go ahead and play Deep Analysis, which luckily draws into a Grimag Angler. So it's actually probably the case that I should have Deep Analysis first. But I was just kind of like clicking stuff at that point. Alright, opponent's Delvers don't flip again, which is very lucky for us. So I'm gonna... a little bit of lag here. I don't know what's going on. Okay. So I'm going to, I believe, it's strange. Okay. So I'm going to Twisted A-Bomb and then Exhume it first. Oh, or I'm going to Gush first. Unfortunately, didn't draw anything. I might have wanted to Twisted A-Bomb first, just in my deck, but I didn't hit a swamp regardless, so it's fine. So I definitely want to Exhume first before attacking, in case, you know, my opponent blocks. And here, I kind of made a mistake. I shouldn't have attacked with the Scavenger. I should have just attacked with the Gurmag Angler and enticed them to, like, triple block or something. Because here, I just trade Echoing Decay against one Spire Golem, which is a fine trade. You know, it's not bad. But I likely could have done better if I just only attacked with the Gurmag Angler. And the still has Scavenger really didn't do that much. Opponent Silver's flips, which is bad for us. We play Stormbound Guys, which is not that bad. So attack with my creatures. Turn doesn't block. So my opponent plays Curse of Chains here. I know he has Logic Knot, which actually, now that I look back on it, alright, I made a mistake. I should have countered the Curse of Chains, because I guess I was under the impression that Logic Knot was a hard counter, but it, you know, he only had 2 cards in his graveyard, so it wasn't. I could have counterspelled it. Mistake. Yeah, I haven't played against Mono Blue Delver in a while, so I'm not really kind of mentally keeping track of things like that. So I should, yeah. But right here, you know, can't really attack because this double block basically just trades. I basically kill a Delver or something for my Gurmag Angler. So I'm just kind of waiting for another threat. Yeah, but I definitely... Alright, that was a mistake. I definitely should have counted the Curse of Chains. I think if it was a counterspell, it might have been right to keep on holding counterspells. But because it was Logic Knot, it wasn't a hard counter, and I wasn't taking that into account. But Brainstorm is a good draw here. I just drew a Spell Sprite in the meantime. Doesn't choose to counter. So I know he still has Logic Knot. So I mental note to get rid of the 2 lands on top of my deck. I probably should have played land first. So here, I guess, yeah, I still just need to wait I can't reanimate Sandworm, and just reanimating a Soul-High Scavenger doesn't really do anything because he is going to get back a Spire Golem. So I just gotta keep on waiting here. I know he has a Logic Knot in his hand. So definitely in a bad position. Especially since our opponent has lethal next turn. Alright, so we cycle Greater Sandwurm. Alright, unfortunately we don't draw much. So I attack with the Grimag Angler here to prevent lethal. Well, my plan is to get back Greater Sandwurm. I need to find some way to kill a Delver here. And my opponent doesn't double block, he just throws away his Fire Golem. So that means that if I exhume Greater Sandwurm, I'm just dead. So I instead just play out a land. My plan was to just exhume back the Sandworm after killing his Delver and praying it, and I need to pray that it doesn't flip. So this Delver means that he can chump block, which I don't really want, so I will counterspell it. And he Logic Knots. So this means that, you know, if I'm gonna force him to chump block this turn. But luckily, I just drew a Doomblade instead, and so I just win the game. Alright, so that's game 2. Game 3 here. Another fine hand. Like maybe not fine. Actually, pretty bad hand, but that makes it better. You know, I don't. It's hard to mulligan. You know, like 3 land, 4 card hands. That, you know, this is awkward, but I think it's playable. So, and so. You know, one thing is that I noticed my opponent was like double queuing or something, and so one thing I did here was that I think he f6. Of course, I can never be sure. So I played the thing twice, praying that he did f6, and he did. So you know, this is why you don't double queue. You know, people, you definitely give up percentage points. I would guess that you probably give up. You know, you probably give up like 5%. Like let's say you win 60% of your games, or however many, like 55. I think by double queuing, you lose 5%, so you go from 60 to 55, or like 55 to 50. So yeah, don't double queue people. Or you could, but it's just like, you definitely play worse. You also basically spend less attention, you know, kind of like, to the board. And you also basically, you know, you lose a lot of contextual information, like switching between games. Like, well, he relics here, so I'm going to Thought Scour. I have Counterspell up for potential Spell Starter Sprite, but he doesn't play Spell Starter Sprite. Yeah, but definitely not good at double queue. You definitely lose percentage points. Alright, so I mean, I think he just has a bunch of counters. So I keep on waiting because like he has no threats. You know, he's not playing any threats. He might have all lands, but that's like very unlikely. So I just basically keep on, you know. I thought Scour first because I mean it could be bad if he has like Spell Stutter. Counterspell, but he doesn't, and I have 3 mana, so I'll just flashback them twice. And so basically, all the plays leading up to this point makes me think that he doesn't have Spell Stutter. And so basically I'm going to play Stormbound Geist with Dispel backup. He actually just lets it resolve. And I still don't think he has Spell Stutter, so I'm just going to Brainstorm. And I'm going to put back, I believe, Bog and Dotscour. I will draw the Dotscour next turn, so I'm not going to lose that. And I guess, you know, I don't really need a Bojuka Bog at the moment. So I would like a card probably different. Sorry, my Magic Online crashed for a moment there, but I think I'm back at approximately where I left off. So basically, we resolve the Stormbound Geist, and we put back, I think, a Mental Note and a Bojuka Bog with the Brainstorm. There's Dotscour on top. Bojuka Bog is one card below that, and we resolve Stormbound Geist. You know, I don't think that he has Spell Stutter, and now opponent just plays a bunch of creatures, which you know, I think that if you are Delver, you really need to be playing a little bit more aggressive there. So, you know, I don't Brainstorm there because Brainstorm was just going to be, I think, a cantrip. And I know that I at least don't want one of my top cards, and I kind of want the other card, so I don't Brainstorm there. There's probably better opportunities to use it later on. So I Thought Scoured and bottom two, or, you know, threw 2 lands in my graveyard, and I'm going to Brainstorm now. So here, a bunch of good stuff. The only card that I know for sure that I want in the graveyard is Greater Sandwurm. So I put Greater Sandwurm Mental Note on top, and I play Gurmag Angler. I don't hold up Counterspell because I would like to play the other Gurmag Angler. So I don't want to, you know, delve too much in my graveyard yet, especially since, you know, I also don't want to delve too much because that kind of leaves my Stormbound Geist vulnerable to Relic of Progenitus. So, yeah, sorry for a bunch of clicking here. These replays are a bit slow. Alright, so, sorry, the replays kind of froze up on me again. So, yeah, I resolved the Gurmag Angler, kind of without using all my mana, not holding up counterspells, not trying to delve too deeply in my graveyard. I am worried, you know, if I basically exile all my cards, then Stormbound Geist, you know, he'll trade and he'll relic it, and so basically I am holding up, you know, I want to leave cards in my graveyard to kind of protect against relic. My opponent attacked with his Spire Golem and put a ninja into play. And we played Spire Golem and played another Spire Golem. So here, you know, I definitely just attack with Gurmag Angler. Gurmag Echoing Decay is, you know, going to kill both. Also, it would just be a chump block for him, so he doesn't do it, which is definitely correct. And here, even though, you know, with double counterspell up, I just go ahead and play the Gurmag Angler, exiling all the cards in my graveyard. I don't play Mental Note or anything to try to get, like, extra fuel, because I kind of just want to hold up double counterspell. Attacks with his 2 Spire Golems, which is fine. Plays Fairy Miscreant. Alright, so one thing you can do with the Fairy Miscreant is with the trigger on the stack, you can Echoing Decay the Fairy Miscreant to deny a card and also kill both his fairies. It's another trick you can do with Electrickery, so it's a good thing to know. So don't do anything. You know, it's still his main phase. I don't really kind of want to let like anything. I don't really want to let anything resolve here. So I consider playing something, but you know, I just have counterspells, plus I'm winning on board. So I just decide to hold up all the counterspells. So here I have the option of giving him a card for 5 damage. And I take it because I think I'm so close to winning that I'm okay giving him a card here because, you know, he also only has 5 mana, so I think I could probably also counter whatever, you know, it's kind of like a tempo play. You know, I'm giving him long-term card advantage, but I'm basically saying that he's going to be dead really soon, so the card doesn't matter. So he attacks with his ninja. Again, I consider blocking, but, you know, I would just be losing my Stormbound guys, I guess. So I just don't do it. Curse of Chains, definitely want to counterspell. Counterspell, I dispel it. Spell, he plays another counterspell, and then I play another counterspell. So when the counter were here, oh, and he just concedes. So yeah, I think our opponent kind of had a poor draw there, and we got him with Gurmag Anglers. I think usually this is probably not a great matchup. You know, they have Curse of Chains. I didn't see any Vapor Stags or Snaps, and those are also really good against this deck. But you know, luckily Mono Blue is no longer a deck in this format. So you know, we want to match against a tough matchup, but also this is a matchup that, you know, I wouldn't really expect to face anymore. Yeah, so GG's.